Even Though I'm Blind is the leading global voice for the blind and visually impaired.
This could be a breakthrough for blind people.
Glide is a self-guided mobility aid that simply guides the person. We use AI and robotics to guide the person. The device is physically connected to the ground. It sits on two wheels. The user holds the handle and Glide steers the way, avoids obstacles, and keeps the user safe. It's very smooth, very enjoyable to use, and really providing, I think, for the first time, another alternative for people alongside the cane or the guide dog, an alternative that can really help them get back on their feet and regain their independence.
I know people is excited to know all about this technology that y'all just viewed in a video. I'm excited about it as well. This is going to be a great one on the ETIB Experience. Y'all know even on Blind, Get It In, we bring out the hottest, technologies, the hottest and greatest just influence in the community, showing the world that even though we blind, we could accomplish on very high levels. We just thank for all the support that's pouring in. It's gonna be exciting. I gotta introduce the wonderful Ariana Dewbery, aka Professor Blindie. She gonna be co-hosting with me today. Say what up to the people, girl.
Hey everybody.
Yeah, she's a ball of energy every time she hits the airwaves. But we're gonna get right into it. We have Amos Miller. He's the founder of the technology you guys just saw in the video. I'm just so excited. So we're gonna just let you, Amos, let us know a little about who you are and what you do. We know only you could give it to us like it is. So let us know what it is.
Okay, thank you very much both. It's wonderful to be here, and let me just also say, set you the challenge to ask the hardest questions, okay? The most challenging discussion, so that we can really learn from each other, learn from the experience, from the conversation, and make sure that we together bring about a mobility aid that's going to serve everyone's needs.
Even Though I'm Blind is the leading global voice for the blind and visually impaired.
So that's
awesome.
That's the challenge.
He gave you the green light. Ariana, the question girl. She has great questions, Amos. That's why she here. So you see, he gave you the green light.
I often say, and I'll say it again, we definitely don't have all the answers, and often we don't know all the questions, and that's why we're here and talking with everyone.
Yes.
Just briefly, so I'm Amos Miller, and I'm the CEO and founder of Glidance. I am blind myself. I have retinitis pigmentosa. I lost my sight, lost most of my vision in my early 20s, which meant that the majority of my adult life and career I've been blind. I've always been in tech, computer science and technology. I spent many years working at Microsoft. Started Microsoft in the UK, then spent some time Microsoft in Singapore, and then most recently Microsoft Research here in the US, in Seattle, where I developed the work. Some of you might be familiar with Soundscape, which was my baby. He's now an adult and is living his own life out in the community. And I started Glidance about a year and a half ago to develop a new primary mobility aid that really takes advantage of all the amazing advancements in technology in recent years in AI and robotics, to bring about what I think is something that is really needed in the community, which is a new primary mobility aid. I think that we love our canes and we love our guide dogs. I have my own guide dog, but it's also the reality that a lot of people out there still struggle to get out of their homes confidently and independently, and still rely on a lot of support from sighted assistants. And I think that with the technologies that we have today, we can definitely make more progress there, and that's what our mission is. So my work really led to the development of a technology that's called Glide. And Glide is the product that you referred to on the video that I think you were going to show before this airs. And I'll just kind of say in 2 words what Glide is, and then we can start the discussion. Glide is, like I say, it's first of all a new mobility aid that uses autonomous guiding technology to help you move confidently. So it has 2 wheels on the ground and a long handle. You hold on to the handle, you nudge the device forward, and the wheels begin to steer the way. They'll help you to avoid obstacles, stay on the safe path, keep you on the line on the sidewalk or in a corridor, walking through a building, making sure you avoid obstacles along the way, and help you target destinations like dropped curb or a door or escalators, steps, elevators, anything that you're trying to get to. And really the main thing is how easy it is to use. You basically hold the handle and walk. It feels like you're holding onto someone's arm or the harness of a guide dog. So let me stop there, and we can go anywhere and everywhere in the conversation.
All right,
Awesome. I hear you about to get it in. I just wanted to say, man, we just commend you for what you was able to do so far, and I'm sure in the future, it'll be a whole nother conversation. You probably change the scope of how us blind and visually impaired folk get around. So we just excited for the time, and we encourage you to keep it moving.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's something that I always look for ways to do, and the great thing is that there's a whole group of people out there helping out in the company, outside the company, really trying to see how we can make a real difference using these technologies. Not just something that's really cool, but I can't see myself using this, right? But something that we can see ourselves using every day.
That's great. I love that. Because that was one of my questions, and you already answered it. See? So, one of my first questions is there a correlation between independent cane travel and the Glide? Do you need to have independent cane skills to effectively and sufficiently use the Glide, or can it be used independently?
My expectation is that you wouldn't need as much independent. It's really as much cane skills as you would today, for example, to use a guide dog. And the reason I say that is, and that's in many ways why we developed Glide, is in effect, right, you could program Glide to take you the whole way, right? You could say, okay, I'm at home, I want to go to the bus stop, Glide knows the way to the bus stop, and all I have to do is walk. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't suggest that that's the way that everybody will be using it all the time, but I do suggest that if you are learning your mobility skills and you are still have low confidence in your ability to orient and understand what is the next step you're going to take, if Glide can literally walk you all the way from your front door to the bus stop, I think you are more likely to do that and build confidence quickly, and then you start to build your other skills.
That's great.
Yeah. And then you can maybe next time not give Glide the destination because you already know the way, but Glide will just make sure that you're keeping safe and that you're crossing the road in the correct location and so on. So I think that there is definitely, but some of it we still have to test, okay? Like we are working with orientation and mobility instructors to explore these exact questions, but definitely hoping that with Glide you can get on your feet much quicker.
And that's awesome. That's really, really awesome because when I first lost my eyesight, I think the Glide would have been my bestie. So, my next question is, what would you compare the design of the Glide to?
So the previous version of the device did look a little bit like a vacuum cleaner. And that's what, if you ask the AI to describe what it is, it said a vacuum cleaner. But the current design no longer looks like it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Current design is slick and is amazing. It's compact. It looks like a futuristic kind of scooter, if you like, or something like that. It doesn't really look like anything that you can compare it with.
Mm-hmm.
But what it looks like is it has the two wheels are about 8 inches in diameter. Okay, so they're not tiny little wheels. They're big. They're good wheels. They're good terrain wheels with a solid rubber like terrain thing around them. So they look good. Then the device is like there is like the body of the device in between the wheels, and then the handle extends from the body at a 45-degree angle when you walk with it and you hold the handle at the top end. The handle is a horizontal handle. And so you're holding that device like that. In the front of the device there is a bumper. And the bumper is used first and foremost to bump into things if it's off, just to protect the front of the device really from any accidents. You shouldn't be walking into anything because the device will guide you around it, but it's a bumper. It's also a stand, so you can let go of the handle and the device will stand vertically. So if you're at the line in the Starbucks and you need to pay, you can let go of the handle, pay, and then grab the handle again. Move it to 45-degree position and walk. And the bumper can also be used as a handle if you need to pick the device up for any reason from the ground. You can just grab it there. So that's kind of the general design. Did you want me to emphasize it? The handle itself at the top is again a comfortable handle, horizontal handle. There's haptics in the handle so that the device can communicate things with you. There's also speakers and a microphone so that it can speak to you. You can speak back to it. So there's a bunch of things in the handle itself to help with communication.
A game changer for the blind.
My name is Amos Miller, and I'm the founder and CEO of Glidance. I lost my sight in my 20s, actually a genetic eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa. I've used my white cane for some time and guide dogs since the age of 25 or so. And I have always looked for new kinds of mobility aids that help me to get around more independently and help many others. And the work in Glidance is very much the next phase on my own journey in that exploration.
Yeah, I know y'all enjoying this podcast. I definitely am. Very informative. This technology is really revolutionizing, the way blind people and mobility, the independence, we getting around, baby. But take out a second, if you're not already subscribed yet, head to the website, eventhough'mblind.org, and subscribe to the email list so you can stay updated, informed on all the hottest new tech, all these great stories, and just every hot thing going on in the blind and visually impaired community. And while you at it, follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube. We everywhere. X, Twitter. We back to the regularly scheduled program. Let's get back.
I wanted to know, what do you think the expected learning curve will be for a user of Glide?
I don't know. I will have to see. I think that people who are already confident cane users or guide dog users will get the hang of it really quickly, like within a few minutes. Like it's really easy to use. Yeah, and there's a few controls that you need to know, but it's designed very easy to use. You'll be able to walk along and make your turns and get to the curb and do those things almost immediately, and then you learn how to pre-map routes and to set destinations. I think that people who have less experience, they have some more, a steeper learning curve, but that's where we want to make sure, for example, somebody who doesn't have great cane skills, how can we get them up and running on their block, right? So that they can do a walk around their block, or a short, safe route, within like an hour of getting the device. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
yes,
that's really the kind of things that I believe these kind of devices will enable us to do. But I also want to make sure that people don't underestimate the importance of learning orientation and mobility skills through orientation and mobility training, right? I think that there is, like, we don't want to, even if you're driving an automatic car, you still need to know how to drive, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so I think these are the kind of questions that I think we need to figure out as a community. What is the support framework for a device like this that can allow you to do quite a lot with limited skills, but you want to be able to develop those skills as well.
That's awesome. I just want to intervene and say congratulations. We see that you received the Edison Award for the Glide this year.
We did.
Yeah.
I went with my wife, my dearest wife, to Florida in April, and had the humbling experience of taking part in this incredible event that brings innovators from all walks of life. We had other husbands and wives like us who are getting a company going, and we had the head of SpaceX and all kinds of people there receiving various awards, and so it was very humbling to be there and be recognized for the work that we're doing and for the importance of this kind of innovation space.
Absolutely. When we started the ETIB Experience, the Even on Blind Experience, we was doing it to showcase and highlight, examples such as yours, and you showing the world breaking boundaries, letting them know that there's really no limit to, the things that, you want to do. If you really put the work in and research and, work closely with the team and just allow your vision to really manifest into this world, it can help so many different people. So never underestimate the vision that is given to you, through your creative form. And you definitely out here showing us that it's possible, Amy. This is big, for the future of young entrepreneurs coming up behind you. Just being that example of I can, that's awesome. So I can't commend you enough. And the technology seems so it seems like a revolution is happening right now as far as this whole AI technology. Do you think that the blind and visually impaired will be able to maximize the technology as well as everybody else in the world? I'm talking about just the whole AI movement.
I do, yeah. I think that we're going to benefit a lot from the capabilities and the tools that AI enables. It is not the answer to everything by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of low-hanging fruit when it comes to descriptions and when it comes to even navigating Blanky and websites that are not designed so well. Like, it's so much quicker for me now to ask this, what is it called, the Pi AI assistant, to ask Pi, hey, what's going on in Seattle this weekend, and I will get a pretty comprehensive answer, and I don't have to go onto some website and move around with my screen reader and look for information and blah, 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 blah. So, I think that just those kind of, that the efficiency that we can get to information, the efficiency that we can get to stuff. And then, what I work on how AI can help us understand our environment, our surroundings, get around independently. Also a huge opportunity, but in that case, I think it's also important to do it in the right way. Yeah, I personally have tried and explored for quite some time to develop the different things that you wear and different things that haptics and so on. Audio, of course, which I think is very powerful, but I also think that sometimes we overdo it, and some of these devices, nobody's ever going to actually wear them. Yeah, and that's where I think sort of being very understanding how the AI capabilities, how the robotics capabilities, how these technological capabilities kind of integrate to our own lived experience. We still, we want to, like things like Glide, right? It still needs to be easy to get into a car and into a bus with it. You still want to be able to kind of get home and just park it in the corner and forget about it. And when you leave the house, you just want to pick it up and go. You don't want to start opening an app and looking for that app and picking stuff, Like all of these things, I think, are just important considerations when AI makes its way into our life.
Even Though I'm Blind is the leading global voice for the blind and visually impaired.
2 wheels on the ground, they steer left and right. It will steer you along a path, avoid obstacles, take you on a straight line, help you locate doors, elevators, various line of sight destinations.
To do that, the Glide uses a series of cameras, sensors, and AI, which can learn the user's frequent routes.
Hey, if you're out there making moves in the blind community, don't hesitate to share your story with us by emailing eventhoughamblind@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear your story.
I'm Mike May. I went blind at age 3, and I've been learning how to get around and to navigate since then. I've used a cane, and I've had 7 guide dogs, and I've been involved in inventing the first accessible GPS and indoor navigation, and it's a constant challenge to figure out how to get around better as a blind person.
ETIB is the brand for the blind and visually impaired that inspires the world.
This could be a breakthrough for blind people.
Glide is a self-guided mobility aid that simply guides the person. We use AI and robotics to guide the person. The device is physically connected to the ground. It sits on 2 wheels. The user holds the handle and Glide steers the way, avoids obstacles, and keeps the user safe. It's very smooth, very enjoyable to use, and really providing, I think, for the first time, another alternative for people.
Even Though I'm Blind is the leading global voice for the blind and visually impaired.
You definitely one of the trendsetters in the AI community for the blind right now. Like as far as like training, how does that process work?
Yeah, no, this is a great question. So this is a device that will learn over time. First of all, just to be clear, the device is not shipping yet, as in it's not available for purchase yet. We are about a year before it's going to be ready to be for people to use on a daily basis. We hope to get to beta units in the fall, so fall in the Northern Hemisphere at least. Towards the end of 2024, we will have beta units that we will be looking to for people to test and to share with us, to take home with them for a few weeks, share us all the feedback, dust off all the issues before we prepare the device for manufacturing. And all that time we are working to develop the software and to develop the AI capabilities that allow us to really teach the device the kind of daily challenges that we need it to be able to manage. So, for example, finding doors and approaching doors. Doors are quite, at least generally, quite similar and detectable. But for example, dropped curbs where we cross the road and shapes of intersections and how to get safely to the other side of the road. That's, every intersection is different. There is, as much as we try to standardize it, it's not standard, as you guys all know from our daily experience. And we want glides to learn how to approach a curb, to help you approach a curb and cross the road in a straight line to the other side. And that, so all of that is data that we basically what we do. Cazerny, is that we find examples where there are challenges, and we have a software that generates a lot of examples of that kind of situation and creates all kinds of variations, and then we train the AI model to learn how to guide on all of these different situations. Yeah, so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and over time we want Glide to be able to deal with more and more complex pedestrian situations. But at the basic level, and what the device will be able to do, sort of out of the gate when we start to ship the device, obstacle avoidance. You'll be able to walk down a path or walk down an area with full of people and stuff and so on, and be pretty confident walking at a good pace. Locating destinations along the way that you might choose to go to, train the device on different routes. So yeah, there is quite a lot that goes into it, and the device is going to be, we do what we call over-the-air updates. It's a bit like a Tesla model where the device is learning all the time, and people will be distributing updated models to everybody on a regular basis. So
that's awesome.
So that after you purchase the device, your device will continue to learn and improve. The device that you get on day one will be quite different from what you'll have in 2 years down the line. Just in terms.
That's good. That actually leads it to my next question, actually, because I was just about to ask you that. And hey, I'm gonna let you rock. We know you the question lady, but does it personalize? Like me, I have different routes that I wanted to remember that incorporated in the technology.
Yeah, you can definitely have it. Either express your preferences or have the device learn from your preferences. Some of the personalization is more specific to just what you prefer. Like, for example, some people if there's kind of little bumps on the ground, you just want to go over them. Other people want to go around them. Yeah. Like, if you want to, how wide do you think the gaps that it needs to consider? For example, if there's a tight squeeze between a person and a wall, do you want to still tight squeeze through it, or you want to go around it? Like those kind of personalizations. But then also the type of routes you prefer, and so on. So yeah, I mean, over time there will definitely be some form of personalization.
Hey y'all, it's Professor Blindie. Stay connected with me and all things blind intelligence by going to our website, professorblindie.com. Also, our social media pages at The Official BI on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and Blind Intelligence on Facebook. Thank y'all. Toodles.
It's amazing. I copy that. So this thing is really personalizing for us guys. We telling the glide what we wanted to do, and it's gliding us right on through.
Is glide motorized, like it moves on its own, or do we push it?
No, we deliberately chose to take the approach that you move it forward. It doesn't pull you around. Mm-hmm. So you basically don't have to control the speed. You just walk. It's very, very easy to move it forward. Like, it's not hard. It's not like pushing a supermarket trolley. Yeah, it's very light. And the benefit of that is that you're never in a situation that the glide is trying to run away from you or pulling you in a situation. You just walk. And when the moment you start walking, the wheels begin to steer.
Okay, yeah, because that was really important, because I walk at different speeds depending on if I have my child with me or if I'm in a rush. So I'm like, do I have to adjust the speed on this thing? No. Another question I had was, because I do have a son, how durable is the hardware for Glide?
Yeah, I mean, we are building it to be an outdoor device that withstands quite a lot of damage. Like, that you can, people can step on it and bump into it, and it should do. So it's like I said, it's got these good solid wheels. The bumper in the front, it's all made of strong materials. It's more like bicycle or scooter than a toy.
Yes.
Yeah. So how old is your son?
1.
Oh, so he's got lots of years to grow and cause damage.
Yes. And you?
Yeah. No, I think you'll be fine. It's also waterproof, so you can use it in the rain and drive it through puddles, and you should be fine. We don't advise to throw it in the lake. We don't think that but it will definitely handle outdoor use.
So I wanted to know, will government assistance program, like a government assistance programs and nonprofits, be able to purchase the Glide once it's out? Because I've seen that the projected date right now is September 2025. Will they be able to purchase these Glides for blind and visually impaired users?
I mean, thank you for bringing that up. We have definitely started to work through this with organizations. Some of them want to see us make more progress, get closer to the delivery date before they will make a determination. But we definitely envisage the sort of state blindness services and the federal the assisted living centers and so on to be able to cover the costs of glides. It will take some time before things like Medicare, health insurance cover the cost, just because typically these kind of devices are not considered medical devices. Like we don't get health insurance to pay for our canes or our dogs, but older people do get their walkers covered by Medicare, and so there's no reason why it shouldn't cover a Glide. But it's just that we don't currently have those codes. So I think that will take a couple of years probably before health health insurance will cover, but I definitely expect to see state and federal funding for accommodation devices to provide support for the cost of the device.
And I understand that there's a subscription that comes along with purchasing your Glide. Do you want to talk more about that and how the subscription is beneficial for the purchase of a Glide?
Yeah, you're really inching the questions there. Yeah. So Glide it's not just the hardware. It's not just the plastics and the electronics. The majority of what Glide is built into what we call sensible wayfinding, which is an AI platform that powers the whole thing. And that AI platform is connecting all the glides together, and it runs on the cloud, and that's really what drives the capability of the device. Yeah, and the subscription essentially pays for that. Now, I would say that we don't yet know exactly what that subscription will be. Mm-hmm. We pegged it at the moment at $40, but it may be different by the time September 2025 comes around, because there's so much change in the AI world right now. And there's a lot of competition, and so our goal is really, and I will say that, and I say that with every ounce of authenticity, our goal is to make this as much as affordable as possible. It will take a couple of iterations to really get the costs down, but we definitely are working to maintain a model that people should and hopefully will be able to afford.
The importance about having a guide robot is that it gives me options where I don't have to worry about taking care of a dog or feeling my way along with a white cane. Those are great options for a lot of people. Having another option to guide you with sensors is really helpful to address the wide variety of needs and abilities of various blind people of different visual acuities.
Even Though I'm Blind is the leading global voice for the blind and visually impaired.
I know y'all enjoying this podcast. I definitely am. Very informative. You know, this technology is really revolutionizing, you know, the way blind people and mobility, the independence, we getting around, baby. But take out a second, if you're not already subscribed yet, head to the website eventhoughamblind.org and subscribe to the email list so you can stay updated, informed on all the hottest new tech, you know, all these great stories, and every hot thing going on in the blind and visually impaired community. And while you at it, follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube. You know, we everywhere. X, Twitter. We back to the regularly scheduled program. Let's get back.
I wanted to ask you about if the Founding Gliders program, is that full already, or did you want to expand on that so people can know?
Okay, yes, we do have the Founding Gliders program right now open. We are about 70-something% full, so it's filling up by the day.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we've created 500 slots for Founding Gliders to, first of all, to put down a deposit of $100, and that buys you a 40% discount on your glide. So it's a very significant discount. And it also puts you the first in line to receive the glide when we start to ship the devices. And really the reason for the program is all the people who have been involved and are involved and looking forward to continue to be involved in helping us make this device the best device we can create for the community. And it's not only for us. Like I mentioned in the beginning, there are a lot of people out there who are unable to get out of their home independently and are really looking forward for a device like this to be available. And so we really want to extend our gratitude to the early gliders who are coming with us on the journey, who are asking the questions, and when devices start to come out, give us all the feedback that you can and help us and be ambassadors for this work. And so that's the Founding Gliders program. It's open at the moment. It's going to be open for a few more weeks. And we urge folks to jump onto our website, glidance.io, read the information, and if it's for you, then please sign up, and we will be happy to have you engaged with everything that we do.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Those demonstration days. I'm like, hold on, do we have a demonstration day for Texas?
Demo days. We had the most amazing first demo day last week at the Helen Keller Center in New York, Brooklyn, which was amazing. We had over 30 people show up and tried the device and gave us a lot of feedback, and we talked about a lot of we showed the new design and got a lot of feedback on that. And so we are definitely planning demo days in other locations. I would say we're going to be at the National Foundation for the Blind and the ACB conventions in early July, and after that we'll be looking to run demo days in August and September for folks to get their hands on the device. We'll have a new version by then, and really build excitement and let people share their feedback.
Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for those dates, because I'm like, I gotta try this out.
Well, we'll make sure it happens. Texas is a great place. Actually, there's a lot of blind people in Texas, we are learning.
Yes.
And we'll definitely be talking about. Basically, we have a Zoom call on the last Wednesday of every month that folks can go on, where we share a lot of our updates, and then we share them over email as well for folks who are registered on our website. And also on our website itself, we will be publishing our schedule for demo days.
I'm just amazed on the technology. I'm just.
You can't wait to get your hands on this device, man. I can hear you.
Look, it's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be alive. The funny thing about it, Amos, is I'm not gonna. This is the truth. I lost my sight at 15 years old. That was quite a few years ago. I'm still very young. You know what I mean? But about 15 years ago, and I never used a cane or a guide dog. I didn't go to school for the blind, so I never got the mobility training, and I was just kind of getting around, and I get a lot of places, Amos. Just for me, the technology just gives me so much more room and opportunity to take even more risk, because I'm a risk taker. I like going to unfamiliar places, and the way you're describing it seems like the glider is going to be able to get us around these unfamiliar places, because even with a cane, I would assume that it'll be a lot of processing involved, even with your mobility training. So this thing would be able to kind of help us feel around unfamiliar places, and that is very excited to me. So the question is what I'm going to ask you, and I don't know, because shout out to the guide dogs out there. Like I think that's just such an amazing thing that these dogs are just trained to do so much information remembrance, like they're able to just navigate like they do. Do you think this glide, in your opinion, because you say you use a guide dog, do you feel more sleek using this glide, or you think you're going to stick to your dog?
I think they are different. There's a lot of similarity in the way that you use glide to the way that you use a guide dog. Maybe that's because I come from the world of dogs. And so it feels it feels similar. I would still say that there's still very few people who have the benefit of a guide dog. And I hope that all of those people who don't get the benefit of a guide dog would think that the Glide can give them at least some of that experience, if not all of it and more. Whether I am, I have my guide dog. I love my guide dog. I don't have any better option today either. I mean, yeah. But often when I travel on business, for example, and I don't always take the dog with me because I go to unfamiliar places where the dog doesn't know their way around and I don't know my way around. So it's more hassle than it's worth sometimes for me personally. And I know other people do things differently. So I think there will be times that I'd choose one device, other times that I would choose another. I talk to a lot of people who dial into our Zoom calls will tell us that they're getting to a certain age where they don't do as much walking and they feel that they aren't giving the dog enough walking experience. Again, for them, a Glide may be the right next thing. I hear from cane users who've been very confident cane users for many years, and in older age, starting to hear, their hearing gets worse and their attention gets worse, and they find it harder and harder to use the cane. They could enjoy a transition to a Glide. So, I think we all have our different situations, and I think the fact that there's another option there is going to be very important for a lot of people.
Awesome. You answered that smooth too, Amy. You good with it. That was real smooth because we don't want to take the value of a guide dog. They've been serving. They've been serving for so long.
Not the guide dog and not the cane. I think that
right. Correct.
We have a place for everything.
What indicators are on the Glide that allows people to know that it is assistive technology? Of course, a lot of people still don't even recognize a white cane, and it's been around forever. So what indicators does the Glide have that allows people to recognize it as like, oh, this person may be visually impaired?
We are playing with different options here and kind of testing the reaction. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of a learning curve, right, for the public to start recognizing what these devices are. But that's going to take time, right? So it's funny. I had one of the first prototypes I had. Didn't have any covers on it. So it basically had all the electronics poking out of everywhere and the little motors When I walked with that in the street, everybody moved away. So moved that away.
What is that?
Then we put the next prototype. We put a cover over it. Nothing fancy, just covering it up so it's not so exposed. Nobody moved out of the way. Like they didn't know what it was, but they didn't try to. They kind of. So that wasn't good. And the device that we have now, that's the one that looked like the vacuum cleaner, is the one that people did not move out of the way. The device that we have now has bigger wheels. It got LED lighting around the rim, around the kind of the lower base of the device. So it kind of lights up, and it lights up the ground next to it. And it looks that it looks special. It looks like something that people notice and they get out of the way again. So
they're like, oh, this thing is doing something. Huh?
This thing is doing something, and I don't want to be in the way of it. It's also got these bigger wheels and so on. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know that we want to necessarily paint it white and put a little red spot on the bottom and say, hey, it looks like a cane, because maybe we don't want it to look like a cane, right? Maybe we want it to look cooler. Yeah?
Yeah.
But we definitely want to make sure people notice it, especially when you cross the road and in the dark and so on. And so we're trying to build things into the design so that it's noticeable with the lighting and with the colors and so on. And in its kind of overall look, that it at least starts to serve the purpose of people noticing it and saying, okay, this person is doing something that I need to get out of the way of that.
Right.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy that you're trying to make us look cool out here, Amos. We some cool people out here. We cool people on this call right now. That's really.
I might blink out mine still though. I might blink it out. Little rhinestone here. There never hurt nobody.
Right.
And we don't also, there might be in the beginning maybe beneficial to hold a symbolic cane in your other hand, maybe just to kind of wave it around a bit and help people understand. Yeah.
Alrighty. So I wanted to know, is there a recommended age to use this device?
Like, I definitely see no reason why youngsters, kids shouldn't be able to use the device. The handle is adjustable in its length. I think our current design allows for at the minimum of 4 feet of the height of the person. Below that, it's the handle just doesn't shrink enough. But we'll see. I think that the main question of age will be how quickly they're going to learn the device, that they're going to walk confidently with it. I think it provides great opportunity for kids to run around school more confidently. And I can't wait to see that happen.
Yeah,
you and me on that. We want them to start their independence young. Right? We agree on that.
I'm Joel Dodson. Yeah, so for the last 6.5 years, I've been totally blind. Started using a cane in 2017. Back in 2017, when I lost my sight, I was thinking that, why isn't there kind of an electronic, kind of robotic device that could help you navigate, that could, find all the obstacles for you and take you around those and integrate with maps and, things like that, kind of like a robotic guide dog. To see something like Glide, I find exciting, especially because it's from, say broadly speaking, from the community being built, for the community. What excites me a lot about Glide is the potential for integration with, say, other applications. I think mapping is probably the obvious. If I'm traveling somewhere and I'm walking around the hotel in a neighborhood I'm not familiar with, and it can tell me about intersections I'm approaching, and so I'm really excited with, I guess the ability for the Glide to, do more of the navigation.
So my name is Morgan. I found out that Glide is designed with people like me in mind, people who might not be the most confident travelers, people who might be scared to get out there and navigate their communities for many reasons. A cane and a dog is not a solution for everybody, and Glidance seeks to be a solution for everybody. I envision Glide giving me the opportunity and the confidence to actually leave my building without being afraid. I view Glide as my door to the outside world.
ETIB is the brand for the blind and visually impaired that inspires the world.
You said you've been blind, for a little while now, and I know we all have these blind moments in life. You have a blind moment, a little short blind moment you can share. Blind moments is one of the moments where it's like, oh man, my glasses is right on my face, and I was looking for them, my shades. You have any blind moments you can share for the people? We like them to know that we regular people doing amazing things, and it's all right to have a little blind moment.
I mean, I've served my wife coffee that made out of juice instead of milk. I mean, that happens. Right? I think I went to work once with two different pairs of shoes. Right? Like,
you think they glide in it?
Non-matching shoes, right? That happened to me once.
We need Glide to say, you don't match.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you think Glide in the future gonna be able to be like, wait, hold up, Amos. Mr. Miller, your shoes is not looking like they glide.
I can say my most recent blind moment was, it was storming and all of the power went out. And so I'm still just carrying on. I noticed that my reception on my phone had got real bad though. Like it kept crashing on things I tried to use the internet for. And I go downstairs and I'm like, yeah, what y'all down here quiet? They like the power's out. I'm like, oh. Like you didn't know? And I'm like, why would I?
Exactly. I was
That's a
going to
good
say
segment.
I had a guide dog, one of my first guide dogs. We lived in an apartment block with steps going down, and I noticed that when I go down the steps, I kind of walk down, and my guide dog is tentative, and then he a couple of times he actually slipped down those steps. And I ended up bringing the guide dog trainer to have a look what's going on, and he said, "Amos, you're forgetting to turn on the light for the dog."
The dog still needs the light. See that segues into the question of does this need internet? Because she did say that it was cutting off her internet. Her internet was cut off and she couldn't use
it needs, but it doesn't
technologies.
need to be connected all the time.
Well,
No,
I
we
need
understand.
to let the people know where they can sign up for the Founding Gliders program for one, and your website again, so they can connect and stay in tune, because this is monumental.
Thank you both. Thank you, all of you. So glidance.io is our website. glidance.io. Basically, the word glidance is guidance with an L instead of a U. So glidance.io, and really that's where you'll find all the information. You can you'll see the banner to join the Founding Gliders program right at the top of the page. There's lots of information on the page. You can just join your waiting list. If you don't put a deposit at this stage, just join the waiting list and you'll be kept informed with everything that's going on at Glidance and when we open different programs and how we're progressing the development. Glidance.io.
Glidance.io. Amos Miller, we definitely do appreciate your time. The service what you're doing out here for us is, like I said, is really a revolution happening, and I'm so privileged to be a part of this thing. Look forward to seeing in the future how it's going to, continue to, pan out for us all. And we definitely going to stay connected.
And you can also drop us a line at gliders@glidance.io. It's our email, gliders@glidance.io. And keep in touch, okay? And thank you very much for the opportunity to talk with you both, with all of you, and looking forward to having further opportunities down the line. Thank you.
Oh man, we did it again. ETIB, even on Blind. We checking out, bringing a glide to the world. Oh man, early 2025 is gonna be lit. We gonna be able to glide soon. I know everybody excited about it. Contact them. Stay in tune, stay tapped in, and ETIB, even on Blind, will continue to bring you the hottest techs, the greatest stories from the greatest people. Gotta shout out the girl Ariana Dewbery, Miss Blindie, Professor Blindie. She did it again with the dopest questions, and we coming back to y'all real soon. ETIB, even on Blind, we checking out for now. Peace.
ETIB is the brand for the blind and visually impaired that inspires the world.
And the goal really is that you are back on your feet and you are able to start your own mobility journey at the outset. I think people deserve to have this independence, and I am excited to be contributing towards that kind of world.